Hello, my friends. It's Olga again. I'm ready to start another episode of my channel, which is called My Life with Bipolar Disorder 7 Years of Struggles, Tips, and Life Hacks. Today, we're going to speak about depression. It is a very serious topic. I'm going to tell you how my first depressive episode started. It lasted 9 long months, and I was out of my wits by the end of it. It was a very hard time for me. And I can tell you that I was running around trying to find help and just getting the right doctor, and it was very difficult and it was very frustrating. So let me start from the beginning. A lot of specialists in bipolar disorder tend to tell you that the disorder starts at the age of 16 or 17, but I intend to say that it can start at any age with any woman or any man in any physical or any financial condition in any country. I'll tell you about my family and my childhood and about my professional exploits. I'm from a very loving family. My father is dead, unfortunately, for 11 years, and I miss him terribly. But my mom is still alive. She is a 60 years old energetic lady who takes care of me. She has to do it on a daily basis. I always listen to her. I always try to listen to her advice, to follow it, and she just takes great care of me every day. I am very thankful to her. I had a great childhood. I had no rebellious episodes in my teens, no emotional trauma or physical or emotional abuse. I was very happy. I have a loving sister with whom we have very cordial and great relationship. In my childhood, I had a very great deal of friends. In my school, I was successful. I was the best pupil in my school. I always succeeded in my studies and never had any problems. In my gang of friends, I was always the leader. I was respected. I knew how to deal with stress. I had a lot of extracurricular activities like English language. Thanks God, now I can talk to you and hope you can understand me well, though it's not my first language. All in all, I'm very, very privileged young woman from a developed country. I have a superb physical health. I am very healthy as a horse. And I live in a country with full access to medical care. I have a great house. I have my mother, I have my sister, I have a car, and a bit of money that my mom provides to buy my medicaments and some of my necessities. I don't work now because I'm unable to. I just came out of the psychiatric hospital and I still try to gain my energy to start something new. I'm a fully qualified medical doctor. I studied in one of the best medical schools in Russia. I was very successful there too. Then I received my master's degree in social health and public health care from one of the best British universities. So all in all, I worked in the World Health Organization, in the UN, and I was responsible for organizing big international healthcare events. I know how to work under pressure. I know how to work in the team and socialize with people. I know how to deal with important and stressful tasks, and I can take stress very well in stride. I am a very responsible person. I was always a very responsible person, and my bosses was always very happy with me. So now to the start of the depression. How this young successful lady managed to get herself into the deep pit? So it all started with love. All great stories start with love, even the sad ones, like in my case. At the age of 26 years old, I decided to get married with my long-term Brazilian boyfriend. We had 2 years of come and go relationship. He was Brazilian. He was living in Brazil. And we decided to get married, start our life together, and move to Brazil because it was warm. I liked the climate, and I wanted to get away from office stressful life. And I wanted to live in a tropical paradise with coconuts, beaches, nightlife, the sun, the heat, the tropics, the waterfalls, the beaches. So that's what we did. We got married in Russia. We had a wonderful wedding for a small amount of people. I still consider it the most happy event of my life. I was beautiful. I lost weight. I have a fantastic dress. I have fantastic pictures of it. And we were all very happy. So with 18 suitcases on June the 5th, 2011, we moved to Brazil. We chose a very good city there with a great quality of life, with no traffic jams, with 47 different beaches for every taste, for surfing, for swimming, with waves, without waves. There were a lot of tropical fruit for me to eat. I enjoyed changing in my diet. I was very healthy. I was going to the gym. The city had a lot of nightlife to offer, great amount of nightclubs, great amount of fantastic restaurants and entertainment. I ate oysters. I enjoyed my diet very much. The food is very good in Brazil, better than any country that I experienced. So we were very in love, happy with each other. We had money, wonderful place to live with a swimming pool. And we were very happy with each other. We never had any conflict. And we enjoyed the best that the city could offer us. We had great many friends whom we invited to our house to make great parties because we are both fantastic cooks. My husband especially, I give him to that. He cooked my meals all the time when I even got worse later. He was a chef. He took real good care of me. So it was a nice change for me from a stressful working environment, cold Russia, to a hot tropical Brazilian beach. At first, I thought about revalidating my medical diploma so that I could work as a doctor, but it was just too much hassle. I had to pass through a 3 days difficult, the most difficult exam, and I decided that anyway I want a change of scenery, and I was already to open my cosmetology and beauty clinic. I went to the university there. I studied for 1 year and a half to be a professional cosmetologist. And I wanted, after 2 years of Brazilian vacation, to start some new project, to feel a very high valued professional again. It was important for me. So you might ask, what is the bad part here? How she can be unhappy in this tropical paradise with a wonderful loving husband, with friends, with nightlife, with money, with a house to live, with a car to drive? How she can be so stupid to get bad in such beautiful circumstances? Well, at the age of 28, I unexpectedly found out that I had gotten myself pregnant. It was an unexpected pregnancy. We didn't plan it. And although my husband was ecstatic when I told him, I was very unsure of it all. I was very unsure of myself. I was not ready to become a mother. I was afraid of motherhood. And not all women like babies and children. Not all women want to be mothers. As in my case, I was afraid of it. I felt not ready. I was afraid of the consequences that motherhood will give me, that I will get fat, that I will not be able to lose fat, that I will be gloomy mother, which is always tired, sleep deprived, and nagging my husband about more attention. I was also afraid that our sex life, which was always great, it will decline, and that he will lose interest in me as a woman. So I had many, many insecurities. So days after confirming my pregnancy, I locked myself in a semi-dark bedroom, messy bedroom, just lying in my bed and imagining the worst scenarios of motherhood that it can bring me into my life. I never thought about the good stuff, about having a wonderful, healthy baby, as I did in the end. Thanks God, my baby is great. Now we have loving, fantastic relationships, so this is a good part. But at that moment, I made the most stupid mistake. So please don't repeat it. Don't repeat it. This is a tip. This is a life hack. Don't start reading forums about the bad stuff. That's what I did. I locked myself in a room and I started reading the pregnancy forums where women complain and bitched and moan about their unwanted pregnancies and how difficult the motherhood is and how tired they are all the time and how depleted they are, how they want to go back to their old self where they were free and careless and with their husbands or boyfriends, and how the pregnancy and children changed their life for the worse. So I believed all this. I became even more in a bad shape. I complained a lot, I was crying a lot all the time. My husband didn't know how to deal with it already. He tried to cheer me up, but he was unsuccessful. So never do this mistake, never repeat this mistake. Don't read about the bad stuff, because it only makes you feel worse. Because successful people, happy people don't write about the good stuff. They post a picture of two on Instagram, this is my baby, and they go on with their lives. Happy people don't have time to write in forums, oh, I'm so happy. No, they're living the happy lives, But for me, after reading all this stuff and after wallowing in this pit of self-pity, how I got so careless and got myself pregnant, I started to feel real bad. It looked to me as the curtain of the play of my life just turned black and turned down and put down, was put down. And that there is nothing, no light at the end of the tunnel, that I will be fat, that I will be ever tired, that I will be sleep depressed, and that my husband will not love me, and I will not be able to be a good mother because I don't want to take care of this baby. So all this was very, very terrible. Thank God, though, that my pregnancy was very easy. My daughter was very quiet. I didn't feel nauseated once. I never threw up. So it seems like my baby was afraid there, just, Mommy, please love me. I'm very quiet as a mouse. So please don't hate me. I will not give you any problems. Please love me, Mommy, I can also imagine this I can almost imagine her pleas in my head now, because she was never giving me any problems with my depression. Right now, my fellow strugglers, I understand that this was the onset of my condition. And if I received the good psychiatrical help at that moment, that if I even managed to get a good therapist, my life would be very different now. But I didn't think about going to a psychiatrist. I thought it was just a baby blues, that every woman feels insecure about her future. And I always thought that the psychiatrists are more for people with severe problems like epilepsy or schizophrenia or something like this. I was a healthy woman. I was happily married. I had money. I had financial stability. I had everything. A loving husband who was ecstatic about the pregnancy. All family was ecstatic. But I was starting feeling ungrateful, worthless, ever complaining, unhappy, fat, ugly, and all this important stuff. I needed a psychiatric help, but I never got it. At one point, my husband offered me to go to the therapist because he was having some problems of his own. His professional aspirations were not satisfied in a way that he wanted to get rich quickly, but he couldn't. So he went to the therapist to deal with it, and this male therapist helped him a lot. So he offered me to go there, and I accepted his suggestion because I thought, okay, it can get worse, it can hurt, maybe it will help me. So I went there, and what did you think? Did therapy help? So I took the suggestion of my husband and went to see this dude, and I came to his office, and office was very nice with the hall, and the nice armchairs to be comfortable, and he offered me tea or coffee or water, and it was always tissues for crying and everything. And I felt, okay, this dude knows what he's talking about, he's going to help me. And first 3 or 4 sessions, it was okay. I was moaning and bitching and telling him about my scares and about my fears, that I won't be able to be a good mother, that I will be very unhappy. And he managed to find some words to calm me down. So for a moment I felt more calm, more secure of myself. But on about the 4th session, he got really irritated with me, So he said, Olga, your emotional development stopped at the age of 16. You behave like a 16-year-old child and you need to take your responsibility. You are going to be a mother and accept it, deal with it. I was so shocked, how can you tell this to a person who came to you for help, who is trying, who is putting your fears in front of you, who is feeling very vulnerable. How can you tell someone like this? So of course I stopped seeing him at once. But the harm had been already done, and I was feeling worthless, guilty, unresponsible. So a really ungrateful human being who is not grateful to God, to the family. And I was feeling that my life was unjust and that I was a worthless being who is just not deserving the good life that I have. I was depressed almost to the end of my pregnancy. I felt very low. I continued reading these awful forums, so never do this, never read the bad stuff. This is the life hack, this is the tip. But then at about the 8 or 9 month, the mother dominant, I think it took hold of me. I became nesting a bit. We bought a crib, we bought a stroller, and family all gave me, because I couldn't do this. I didn't want to go to the shops to buy baby clothes. I couldn't see babies. I didn't want to see children. So they bought nice clothes, they bought blankets, pillows, and it was all fluffy and nice and colorful. And I thought, oh, maybe it's not so bad, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe I will be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel finally. So maybe if I received, the qualified psychiatric help in the beginning of my feeling low, feeling depressed, feeling unsure of myself, because antidepressants can be taken during the pregnancy. There are special antidepressants that don't harm the baby, but instead I was smoking, I was drinking sometimes, I was smoking weed, which didn't make me feel better, it only exacerbated my fears. So I was doing all the harmful stuff to my baby, but it took it in stride. It was a strong, Russian Brazilian baby, and it came out fine. And but still, I thought that only weak people go to psychiatrists because of some light thing as depression. I didn't believe in depression. I thought it was only for weak people, and that you have to have a severe psychiatric condition to visit the psychiatrist and get the help of the pills. So I finished this episode now because I don't want it to be as long. I will continue my saga, my narrative about how I started actually to feeling better, a bit better, but for a very short period of time after the birth of my baby. And I wanted the natural birth of my baby because I wanted to feel more connection to her. I decided that if I go through this painful process of giving life to another human being, I would feel better. And in a way, I was successful in it. But I will keep telling you about this in our next episodes.